Falcons fans, it's your boy Lieutenant Dan here from Orlando, Florida, and right here in Central Florida, coming to you live here from Orlando, Florida, in Central Florida here, with another Falcons. Just what like what? Like this is the Falcons? Surprised. Your boy Lieutenant Dan here from Central Florida, live with another Unintentional Grounding Live, and it just, man, here we are, man. Here we are. Here it is again. I'm just knocking stuff over now. Just knock stuff over. This has become one of those. Like episodic series of events of not of unfortunate events, but just of events in general. You know, when you're watching and you're going, why haven't you guys been playing like this all year? And I know a lot of Falcons fans that are out there right now that are like, what's going on? Why did the Falcons take out an AFC team? And I know it's against the Jags, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Please go check out UCF Jaguar. He is on YouTube and on Twitter. He's a really good content creator, and his team lost today. Go give him a little support. He makes amazing content for the Jags, and has met quite a few players in the process of doing so. So please go support him. Another one of those guys in the umbrella of draft talk and videos of outside media sources just trying to give you the facts and the truth. This is crazy, man. Falcons beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-12. And if you didn't see me tweeting all day, if you didn't see me just blurting over and over, it was me and Freeman and Patman and Mike and just all these dudes just coming out and just tweeting and talking and going on and on about the day's events and how things are going. And the more that we got into it, the more we started to realize this team is like a year, if not 2 years behind of what it should actually be at this very point under Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitroff, Arthur Blank, no matter who you name in the front office. This is still like a 2 year behind. 2 years behind. And I'm going to go into the chat and I'm going to say hi to all the people in the chat because you guys are awesome and the reason why this show even exists. But I do want to state this very quickly. You guys can understand this, and I can understand this too. But can I just get some people in the chat to say rise up, man? Can I just get some people in the chat to say rise up? Because I don't give a damn about losing and having draft position. I don't give a damn about taking the L or meaningless wins. I don't give a damn. When my Falcons win, I'm up in here, okay? When my Falcons lose, I gotta humbly go, okay, this is what's happening. Here's the film of why it happened, and we gotta move on and go to the next game. But we just beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rise up in the chat. Rise up. Rise the F up. Because if you don't like Falcons wins, get out. Get out. Get out. Do not follow this channel. Unsubscribe right now. Because this Falcons team, whenever it wins, I don't care if you guys think it's meaningless wins or not. When the Falcons win, it's always a good day. Whether it's holidays or not. Bob Money says, I forgot to come in here and tell you congratulations on the win. Bob, I'm going to be completely straightforward with you. Everybody please in here be nice to Bob, because this is one of the non-Falcons fans who has come here, has been a great sport, has supported this channel, has been an awesome person in our chat. Bob Money, I want to say this to you. Your team is a very, very, very good team. I'm going to be straight with Falcons fans. I'm going to be straight with you as well. Y'all played down to us, and I don't know why. Y'all played down to the Falcons, and I don't know why. And we took advantage of that, and we won the game in a tight situation. It was a great game. It was all you could ask for, honestly. If you're talking about Falcons versus a major playoff contender. And it came down to the wire, and it was incredibly exciting. And honestly, man, it was great. Water under the bridge, man. Water right under the bridge. Because I remember your comment from not too long ago where you're like, we're going to whoop that butt. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just weird, man. This feels like one of those games. Maybe you'll win. You probably will win. We end up beating you guys at the last second. And look, man, Bob, we're straight. It's cool. And please, you're more than welcome to come in here and continue to talk that talk. Because you guys came out, beat LA, and what was that, yesterday? And congratulations on that. Congratulations on beating LA. As much as I don't like San Francisco for Kyle Shanahan being there, and that's kind of like our ex and all that, I put that all behind me because I hate the Rams. I can't stand the Rams. If there's a couple teams that I just cannot stand, it is the Saints, it is the Rams, and I cannot stand the Vikings either. I cannot stand, and the Philadelphia Eagles, I cannot stand them either. We can all agree probably in that area. Let's go to the live chat and let's go say hi. If you haven't already said something in the chat or you haven't already said hi in here, I don't bite. I'm not a dog. I don't bite. But I got dog in me. I got dog in me, and I will come in here and I will say your name and I will say hi to you, because I'm not like any other YouTuber that's out there that's not going to say hi to all the people in the chat. We got 20-something, 27-something people in here. And share this out to Facebook and Twitter. Troy Mackey. Charleston Nash, good to see you guys. Rise Up, Stay Grounded. Dexter Vlash, good to see you, my man. Mark Hill from the UK. Good to see you, my man. Jock, RB Blackshare, good to see you. Only caught the second half. Didn't look bad, but Oliver was getting abused some. Still not jamming off the line consistently. And you know, RB, one of the things is that I've taken this season for Isaiah Oliver, and this is something that I'll get into right after, you know, I'll really talk in full about after we get through some of the stats and some of the things like that. But, bruh, this right here, Isaiah Oliver, is literally playing as a rookie. Literally. And I'm taking his lumps and his success, however limited it is, as a blessing, going, at least we're training a corner to finally get themselves to a point. Because at one point, and if you guys remember, Jalen Collins was trash. And then Jalen Collins started playing a little bit better. And I see that in Isaiah Oliver, and I'm not giving up on him. And that's why I'm probably not going to be the guy that's going to say that we should go after a corner in the first or maybe even in the second round. I do admit that there are some guys I would love to have on this team, but as long as Trufont's here with that incredibly terrible contract, I'm not looking for a corner. I'm not specifically looking for a corner, but I do appreciate what Oliver is doing right now. Mangus, what's going on, my man? Seth, what's going on? Kojak, man, Tuckett, good to see you. Jack Savage. Jay Neeson, my man, rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. Falcons fan, DBN, Lenore Designs. Taylor McPherson, good to see you guys. Mike H. Rose Stackson. Boy Bangley in the building. What's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Paul Stevens, what's going on? What it do, Dan? Falcons Nation, rise up. Paul, what's going on, my dude? What's going on? How's it going? How about that Falcons dub, huh? How about that? How about that Falcons dub, huh? Dab on them, bro. Dab on them. Bob Money, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Jordan Daniel, rise up. Stay grounded. Hope you're doing 50 milli. What's going on, dude? Rise up, stay grounded. Thank Dozier. Cedric Britton. Good to see you guys. Rise up. King Jaffe Joe, the man, the myth, the legend, the mega troll, the guy that comes in with the hard-hitting opinions. Good to see you, my man. Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Anthony Wright, good to see you, my man. As I said last year, and as I said this year earlier about weathering the storm, tanking will never be tolerated. It's unacceptable by Atlanta Falcons organization. You are completely correct. Wins for Christmas. Wins for Christmas. Sin, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right. If we've flexed enough in the chat, if we've set our highs, if everybody has already said their highs, if everybody has already said hello, then we're going to get straight into this game. We're going to get into some statistics. We're going to talk about some things. And honestly, man, this was crazy. This was a crazy game. This was an insane game. On two notes. Because number one, the defense showed up on 3 and outs several times. And none of us can really deny that, yes, while the DBs didn't perform the best that they can and the linebackers didn't perform the best that they can, when the moments were needed, when you needed to shut down Minshew, when you needed to stop Fournette, when you needed to limit this vaunted Jags attack, because it can throw up 30 points. This Jags team can throw up 30 points, or they can kick 2 field goals. And when the Falcons needed it, they got it. They got the 3 and outs. Vic got the sack. Crawford was able to get in there and get a sack. Kaminsky looked good. Grady Jarrett just being Grady Jarrett. And this team knows how to fight. Knows how to stop people from doing some stuff. Now, okay, on the other hand, the offense up and down. The offense up and down. There's plenty of moments and cases in here that we can look at this offense and we can go, it just needs more critiquing. It just needs a little more tune-up. It just needs that extra little bit of nitro. It needs that extra bit of consistency. And you can see that in the run game and with the run blocking, and you can see that in some of the play calling as well. There's got to be a line that you do not cross when you come to play calling and you're calling some cutie stuff. Woo! 50 mil. Chat. Woos. All I want to see is woos. Woos in the chat. Woos in the chat. 50 milli with a $10 donation in the super chat. Thank you so much, 50 milli, for that $10 donation in the super chat. Brianna, good to see you. Vlades, good to see you, my friend. Woo! Nature boy. But you could see it. You could see it in everything that they've done. You could see it in everything that they've done today, that there's just that little bit of critiquing that they need. By the way, really quickly, I just want to state this. I should have just sent it privately, but Brianna, my wife, was dying laughing. I think it was the last time you came in here. She was like, who's Brianna? I met her at the last draft. She was the Falcons fan that I met in Dallas. You met a Falcons fan in Dallas? Did you not look at the pictures? Did you not look at the pictures? Did you not see all the things that I did? I brought them home. I literally brought them home to you. Good to see you, Brianna. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family's doing well, and I hope your schooling is going well as on top of that. Gardner Minshew, 31 attempts passing, only 13 complete. 181 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown, I believe, was Bleedy Will Wilson, getting torched on a touchdown pass deep right after we had scored with Quad Squad. Leonard Fournette, 15 carries, 71 yards. Kept him under 100. Thank God. But on to Falcon stats. We got to talk about some Falcon stats really quick. Matt Ryan, 32 of 45. This absolutely puzzles me. When it works, it's fine. When it doesn't, it's criticized. So I'm going to meet it somewhere in the middle. Stop throwing the ball almost 50 times a game. Stop it. Stop throwing the ball 50 times a game. I'm fed up. Y'all are fed up. I'm fed up because you're throwing it And this is crazy because on 45 attempts, Matt Ryan was still able to get 32 of them complete for 384 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. You've got to get that interception ratio down, and to do that, you've got to limit Matt Ryan's mistakes, and to do that, you've got to run the ball. Now, I will say that Brian Hill, 7 carries, 66 yards. Devontae Freeman, 13 carries, 53 yards. Russell Gage, 2 carries, 7 yards. Matt Ryan running like an old man seeing the Denny's early bird special, 4 carries for 6 yards, and Quadri Olison with that 1 carry for 3 yards, like a vulture coming in and scoring a touchdown. Devontae Freeman also with a touchdown as well, also through the air with a touchdown. Julio Jones, 10 receptions, 166 yards, breaking the record. Fastest player to reach 12,000 yards. Austin Hooper, 7 receptions, 82 yards. Freeman with 9 receptions for 74 yards. This is important. You've got to remember this. This is important. Getting our running backs into the passing game is important. Russell Gage, 5 receptions, 49 yards. I put hashtag Russell Gage. Yeah, I think that's how I did the tweet. But the tweet basically said, Russell Gage is just a mini Sanu. Russell Gage is just your mini Sanu. And without Calvin Ridley in this game on IR, we were still able to utilize Austin Hooper, to utilize the pass game with the running backs, still use Russell Gage through a 13-yard completion to Keith Smith, the fullback. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I've just got to say this really quick. I just got to say this really quick. I could do, and a lot of people are going to say this is not true, but I could do without Freeman. I could do without him. I could do without Freeman because I can find another running back that can get 15 carries and get me 60 yards. I can find another running back that does what Devontae Freeman's doing and get 60 yards. Now, is that Quadri Olison? I'm not sure. They haven't tested him like that. Is that Brian Hill coming back on a contract? I'm not sure. We have to open up money to be able to bring him back. Is that somebody in the draft? Is that a DeAndre Swift? Is that a Zach Moss? Is that a Travis Etienne? Is that a Keyshawn Vaughn? I don't know. They haven't tested it like that. But I will say this right now. I will say this right now. If you run the ball to the right side with these big boys named Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom, they do the work, don't they? We saw it today. The Falcons were running on the right-hand side of the field, and they were clobbering fools. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I want to see more of Quadri Olison, and I want to see more of Brian Hill, even though I'm not a big fan of Brian Hill in a vacuum. I'm not a big fan of Brian Hill, but when you put the variables in, you add the little wrinkles of things, the why Brian Hill is being utilized and why he's doing well, then you go, I could do Brian Hill or another running back that's like Brian Hill to have that outside running threat, because that is something that is key to this Falcons offense. Key to it. Philip Bonner, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. But the more I looked at this defense, the more I go, Vic Beasley with a sack off a stunt. Grady Jarrett with a sack. Jack Crawford and John Kaminsky coming off with half sacks. They combined for 1 sack together on that play. What was that, 3rd down or 4th down? 3rd down, I believe, on that sack. And by the way, Kenjon Barner, flip a coin. Fling, clang, clang, clang. Oh, it's heads. Or, oh, it's tails. I could live with him or live without him. Honestly, Kenjon Barner, he just does what he needs to do. He's had multiple attempts where he's looked like Weems, and then multiple attempts where he's looked like Devin Hester. I don't know how you guys want to do that, but in my opinion, Kenjon Barner, I could bring him back on a small contract and just have a nice returner. Just have a solid, nice returner. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to make some big plays. You just got to roll with it. I think And this also was a game where Matt Ryan was able to cap off 4,000 passing yards in 9 consecutive seasons. I think no matter how you look at this as a whole, you look at this team and you go, against the weak opponents, depending on where they're at, depending on where they're playing and who they're playing against weaker opponents, they play down to their opponents. But this team is better than that. At all phases of the game, this team is better than playing down or playing up to certain opponents. This team should have no fantasies or fleeting thoughts about the record or the ability of another team. This team should be playing every single team at the same level that it needs to play. And that brings up a couple of questions. With one game remaining in the NFL season, and Vic Beasley only needing 2 more sacks to be in double-digit sacks. The first question is, Dan Quinn. Has he done enough? I'm not talking about his job security. Has he done enough with this team to prove that he is a capable coach? I'll leave that up to the chat. I will literally leave that up to the chat. Chat, you answer that question. I'm not answering it. I don't need to answer it. I don't need to answer it for 2 solid reasons. Reason number 1, I believe in Dan Quinn. I always have. I've never had a problem with Dan Quinn outside of the fact that once I started to look at the actual build of the team, this front office has a disconnect. This front office is disconnected. It is not the same. It's not the same front office that we've seen when Mike Smith was here. The continuity is not there. There's a power struggle currently going on, and I just have to bring it up. I think Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn are fucking with each other, and I don't mean in the back having a powwow. I mean they are actually literally undermining each other at every turn and at every corner, at every space within that front office. I think that Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn are trying to undermine themselves. They are trying to go after each other in different aspects. Whether it's because free agents are brought here and Dan Quinn is being told he has to play the free agents. But then when he puts his players on the field that he's been working with, like Deidrin Sanat or John Kaminsky, when he puts players on there like Isaiah Oliver, and they do flashes of greatness or they do flashes of great play for a game, I think Thomas Dimitroff goes, Dan, you're making me look bad. And Dan goes, hey, I'm just doing what I got to do. And I think Thomas Dimitroff right now is in that position of, hey, Dan Quinn, you're making me look bad. You're making me look bad. You're playing players, and even though we're supposed to be on the same page, you're playing players that I paid good money to bring in, and you're trying to play the opposite of that. A bunch of homegrown guys. You need to play these players and make it work. And Dan Quinn's going, look, I don't play that way. That's not how I play. Notice Deidrin Sanat played well last week, and then Alan Bailey comes in off of injury, highly paid player by Thomas Dimitroff, and doesn't look great. Doesn't look solid. Doesn't necessarily do well against the run. Mostly on the ground most of the game. His jersey is dirty for most of the game. Why is your jersey dirty? Why is it dirty, bro? Why does the guy that comes in with the Tide bucket that's got to clean your jerseys, why does he have to pay extra attention to your jersey? Because you're on the ground most of the time on the rubber. Guys like Kaminsky, Vic, Davison, Sanat, even Tack, even though he got hurt a week ago, they're giving their all to Dan Quinn. Guys like Campbell, who I have not been high on this year, giving their all to Dan Quinn. Guys like Deion Jones, Isaiah Oliver, Ricardo Allen, DeMonte Casey, giving their all to Dan Quinn. New drop. What's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Daquan Patton. Good to see you, my man. Rise up. Why? Why are these players giving their all? And it's turning into wins. But then the highly paid players, the ones that are getting massive dollar amounts as free agents, they're doing nothing. It's nice to have Adrian Claiborne here, but you can easily find another Adrian Claiborne. Whether it be by the draft or free agency, it's too expensive. James Carpenter and Jamon Brown. One is on IR, and the other one got benched. Inactive. And we went back to Wes Schweitzer, Gano, Sombrilo, and we did better. We did better running the ball. We did better running the ball with those boys than we did, and most of them cheap, than we did with guys like Carpenter and Jamon Brown, who got brought in here on mega contracts. Big ass, lots of guaranteed money contracts. And we're sitting in here like, why is the offensive line not working? Because you didn't tool it. You didn't tool the offensive line year in and year out with more guys from the draft, which again, I'll say it 100 times over. You can build a team through free agency, but you'll never get that continuity and you'll never get that build like taking guys from the draft, growing them, maturing them, making them, evolving them into great players, and having them stay here in Atlanta. You can build a team through free agency, but at 99.9% of the time, if the coach there is not going to scheme it right, then building of team through free agency is a huge mistake. Is a waste of time, because free agents are supposed to be what? Chat, you've listened to me many times before. What is free agency supposed to be to your draft? What is free agency supposed to be to your draft? It's one word. It's one word. Somebody in the chat say it. I'll give you a second while I get a little bit of water. What is free agency supposed to be for your drafts? Bingo! 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 Charles Nash with it. Nash with it. Bingo! A compliment. Free agency is supposed to be a compliment. Complimentary. It is supposed to be a secondary act to you going out and getting young players, grooming them, growing them, evolving them, maturing them into real studs. And people have gotten away from that. This team has gotten away from that. Whether it be through the offensive line or the defensive line, whether it be through the linebackers or it be through the running backs or it be through the corners, we have gotten away from growing and maturing players. And we have to get back to that. And I think that's why we see a front office struggle right now of a lot of extra guys coming in to save somebody's ass. I wonder who that could be. A certain somebody is bringing in a lot of free agents, doubling down on picks because they didn't do it in previous drafts. They didn't find guys that are going to work in previous drafts. And so they double down in free agency and they spend all this money to make it work. It's going to work. And then it turns out that the guys that we groomed here, Wes Schweitzer, Caleb McGarry, Chris Lindstrom, Jake Matthews, these guys, they got the job done. Interesting. Very interesting. TD got to go. TD's got to go. Thomas Dimitroff, you got to go. You don't agree with that in the chat? Look at his draft history. Look at his free agents that he's acquired every single year. How much money he's put in. Ray Edwards. You remember that name? Anybody remember that name? Ray Edwards. TD. Look at him. Ooh, TD. Ooh, TD. And no, this is not a circle jerk for Dan Quinn. And I know this is not a kid-friendly show. Okay. Sergeant AR10. What's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. This is not a circle jerk for Dan Quinn. Come on. Dan Quinn's got his own problems. Dan Quinn's philosophy and system did not work here. And it wasn't until he made one of the greatest decisions that he has ever made as a head coach, which is delegating his power to someone else that can take that verbiage, translate it, give it to the players, and make this defense look much, much better. Much, much better. It wasn't until he did that things got better, and that was by the bye week. That was at the bye week. It was actually week 6 that he was training these guys to get the work done. That he knew, I've got too much on my plate. I'm trying to be a head coach, and I'm trying to also be a defensive coordinator. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Unless you've been in the league and been doing it already. I like Thomas Dimitroff because he's been good with his money. When the contracts worked out, he's been good with his money, keeping guys that we drafted, keeping the good ones, making sure they stay here. Julio, Matt, Grady, Dion. We've kept these guys. They've stayed here. They've worked. On the other hand, woo! Holy moly, sons of biscuits! Could we have some love and hype in the chat right now for Brianna? Can we get some love and hype in the chat and just shower her with Rise Up and Woo? Rise Up and Woo. Please. We got 30-something people in here. Rise Up and Woo to Brianna, who drops the $20 donation in the super chat. Dang, girl. I didn't know you were rich like that. God damn. Chill out, girl. Woo. Thank you, Brianna, so much for that $20 donation in the super chat. I really appreciate that. Rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. Let me know what you would like for film this coming week after Christmas break. I'm gonna have to get it done after Christmas break, so it'll probably be by the weekend this coming week. But Brianna with a $20 donation in the super chat. She owns this chat now. It's her chat now. It's her chat. Why haven't I done this already? Why haven't I made Brianna a mod? Well, Brianna, you're officially my YouTube mod. Congratulations. Welcome to the moderator class. Welcome to moderatorism. If that's even a word. Merry Christmas to you, Brianna. Thank you so much. So generous. I really appreciate that. It's just so generous of you. Really is. And a Merry Christmas to all the grounders. Merry Christmas to all the grounders that are in here. After watching this Jags game, a couple of things hit me really deep. We're never going to see a wide receiver quarterback combo like we are seeing with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. We'll never see it again. We'll never see records broken like this before. We'll never see this game played at such a level that they're currently playing it right now. We won't. We won't. We will not see another Matt Ryan and Julio Jones combination here in Atlanta. Not for a very long time. We'll never see how special these two are together as a pair. And I would hope we can fix this. We can turn this ship around in 2021 or even in 2022 if it takes that long and get these boys a ring. Julio Jones and Matt Ryan need to be sitting on a beach with their families with coconut drinks, with those little umbrellas that you put in there, with the swirly straws, with some real hard liquor. Just watching the sun slowly set just going, look what we did. With big, flashy rings. With big, flashy rings from their Super Bowl win. We need to get these boys some Super Bowls. Or at least just one, for heaven's sake. We need to get these boys at least one ring, huh? We need to enjoy this combination. This absolute this I kind of wanted to make a joke about the Wonder Twins, but it just wouldn't do any justice. It just wouldn't do any justice to these groups. So I sit here in front of all of y'all after stating everything that I've stated, and I'm looking at this team as a whole and what we potentially will see by the end of the season. Let me pull up Tankathon real quick. I'm going to pull up Tankathon real quick. Tankathon, NFL. I'm just going to tell you where we're sitting. I'm not going to go any further than that. The Atlanta Falcons, after this win today, are now 6-9, and they are sitting at the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Falcons will be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this coming Sunday, who are sitting at 7-8. If the Falcons were to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in between them are the Oakland Raiders at 6-8, the Indianapolis Colts at 7-8, and then a host of teams. Philadelphia is playing right now. Oakland, I believe, or Chicago is playing right now, or will be playing Monday night at least, that are sitting at 7-7. There's only a few spots left. The Falcons right now, if you are one that is watching the draft currently, who is looking at the draft class, who's looking at draft position, right now, if you're worried about draft position right now, I don't see the Falcons going anywhere past pick 16. I don't see the Falcons going past pick 16. But right now, at this very moment, I would not be surprised if we did beat Tampa Bay, made our record 7-9, and we saw one of two things happen. And this is crazy, because I'm about to let you guys hear a conspiracy theory which has no factual evidence behind it. So this is just for fun. The first thing is factual. After this performance at 7-9, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, all those guys get together, prepare themselves for the coming 2020 season, and Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff are evaluated and are fired. That's the first thing that could happen. That is very realistic based on the expectations of Arthur Blank currently with this team. That's realistic. The other realistic version of this is that Dan Quinn is fired, Thomas Dimitroff is kept, and there is a new head coach in Atlanta. There's a new OC, there's new defensive coordinators, a new group of guys that come in here, and they ride out Matt Ryan's last few years and try to get these guys a ring. But now I'm going to do a hot take, one that has no factual evidence behind it, but it's something that we've really thought about, and we've correlated with a couple of other guys, and we've just gone, that would be interesting, and there would be a way that would work. And here we go. Hal Snipes, good to see my man. Cobra! Ah! That's going to look good on stream. The bam, bam. Here's the hot take. You guys ready? After the season ends, the Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Or lose to them. Whatever. Falcons fire Thomas Dimitroff. Keep Dan Quinn. Everybody in here. Boo, boo. And then hire Mike McCarthy as the new OC. Bring in a new GM that thinks analytically, on the basis of D-line and O-line being one of the biggest problems that we need to fix. Yes, there's some people that are saying, corner, y'all go live in your Candyland world. That's fine. You can do that. Mike McCarthy becomes the OC. Dan Quinn is head coach. New defensive coordinator. Probably somebody that's already here. And here's where things get interesting. As we know, in 2 years, Matt Ryan will be 37 years old. 37 is the end, into your 30s, into your late 30s. Is the end of a quarterback's career or the you start to see the happy trails sign and the off ramp, the exit ramp to the end of a career. And I have this feeling because he's done it before in Green Bay. But the idea would be, and I know everybody's going to start coming in here, but just hold on. Hold on with your takes. Hold on in the chat. Mike McCarthy becomes the new OC. And 2 years down the road, the Atlanta Falcons select a quarterback. Or, something along those lines. It'd be 2022. The Falcons select a quarterback to groom behind Matt Ryan and Dan Quinn. Whether we win it would all depend on whether or not we win a Super Bowl with this setup. But if we don't, Dan Quinn is fired. And Mike McCarthy becomes the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And he's already done this once. And I'm just telling you that history repeats itself in many different forms and shapes and ways, whether that be through politics, sports, general life. But Matt Ryan plays out his final years under Mike McCarthy with a quarterback being groomed behind Matt Ryan. Sound familiar? Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And McCarthy takes his quarterback, Ryan, happy trails, whether we win a Super Bowl or not, under McCarthy and Dan Quinn, or under just McCarthy as he grooms this guy. Ryan goes off, happy trails. Julio goes off, happy trails. And the new quarterback comes in under Mike McCarthy as the head coach. The undisputed Queso. What's going on, my man? Rise up. Stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. Adam Cole, baby. Woo! That would be incredible meta. Thinking ahead. And would honestly fix all of the problems that we currently have. Mike McCarthy's running scheme is good, if not great. Underutilized in Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers. There's no denying that. Aaron Rodgers wanted to throw the ball. Why would he want to hand the ball off? And on top of this, Matt Ryan would be that Brett Favre if he could get a ring. And then line up another quarterback who could come in here and begin to form things under a Mike McCarthy who said, and I quote, that he is ready to take a coaching job, but he did not say head coaching. In his interview, I want to come back to the NFL and coach again. He said nothing about being a head coach. If Arthur Blank was smart, he would line somebody up like a McCarthy, whether it's a defensive guy or an offensive guy. He would line them up to be the successor to Dan Quinn if Dan Quinn in a year or two cannot get Matt Ryan and Julio Jones a ring. And then begin the process of going, we're going to think about the future. We're going to stack this team up with talent, but we're going to think about the future because we cannot be blindsided by what's going on currently with our organization. We cannot be overly worried about Matt Ryan and Julio Jones leaving. When their time comes, their time comes. When we pass away, we pass away, whether that be by accident or that be, just by old age. And that's the same way with the life of an athlete, is that their career begins fresh and anew under someone and then slowly but surely deteriorates until that person hits that exit ramp, that off ramp for their career, and it ends and they're gone. And I think that would be something that this organization desperately needs, which is thinking ahead, futurist thinking. Thinking not only on the level of let's get Matt Ryan a ring, which is incredibly important, let's get a ring for Atlanta, which is even more important, but let's do this the right way and not have to hit the reset button on the entire team if we can bring in a guy who's going to be stable and be here for a very long time, whether that be a defensive guy or be a Mike McCarthy that comes in here and begins to swoop up the job and take it over. That's someone that has been looking and training in his own program currently to find NFL trends that would honestly prove his offense right, because Matt LaFleur is literally pulling out the playbook from Mike McCarthy every single week when his stuff doesn't work and Aaron Rodgers needs some successful play calling. When Aaron Rodgers just can't do street ball or do what LaFleur wants him to do, they pull out, and they've admitted several weeks in a row that they're using Mike McCarthy's playbook to get the job done, which means it's not Mike McCarthy that relationship broke up. The reason why he left, it wasn't that play calling was stale. It was Aaron Rodgers being a bitch, being a dick, being controlling, being an underminer, being someone that undercuts you and says, I'm the leader here, I'm the top honcho, every fan's going to agree with me, and you need to, get out. Prove me wrong. Mike McCarthy, in his first 3 years with the Green Bay Packers, said, this defense is not doing it, and we're changing it. And had immediate success changing that defense from a 43 to a 34. When coming here, I bet he would have some type of input as well on how that defense churns, works, grows, matures, and then can concentrate on the things that work well with Matt Ryan. I'm not saying Dirk Koetter needs to be fired. I'm just saying that Dirk Koetter has no running game. Is that hot? Is that spicy? Psst, because it's true. He has delegated that to Mike Mularkey. That's completely evident. We've known that since week 1. We've known that before the hire happened, that he was not a running guy. And we can see that every single week with him making Matt Ryan throw 30, 40, 50 passes a game, because that's all they can do. That's all that Dirk Koetter can do. Whereas Mike McCarthy knows how to pass and run. Mike Mularkey knows how to pass and run. We've seen that before. 2008. So for those of you that are only looking at the last 2 years of Mike McCarthy's time with the Green Bay Packers, and you believe all the rumors that the locker room said he was predictable and that his offense was too easy and too workable from other defenses, that they could beat him up every time, that his drafting was insecure, that he didn't know how to bring a team together, that he didn't think ahead. Mike McCarthy has already said it several times, and several other coaches in the league have already said it. They've had to evolve and mature. Mike McCarthy said, I didn't evolve and mature. But it wasn't that my play calling was predictable, because we were still putting up points. Our defense was just bad, and I'm not a defensive guy. I have some ideas of how it can work. And that's evident in the coaching changes that he had early on in his Green Bay career. But I'll just say it again. I'm not pushing for Mike McCarthy, but I'm saying that if there's any hot take that you want to go and throw out there and see if it sticks on the wall, Mike McCarthy's that guy. Mike McCarthy's that guy. Now, I love me some Don Martindale. Don't you dare think that I am not about Don Martindale. But that would require not only Thomas Dimitroff to be fired, but also Dan Quinn to be fired. And the more that I look at this team, the more I say, I don't think Dan Quinn's going to get fired. I think Thomas Dimitroff's in some boiling lobster water, though. Go look over there. Somewhere over there in the void. Somewhere over there in the void is Flowery Branch. And in Flowery Branch is a big pot full of bubbling, salty water, and they've got Thomas Dimitrov hanging by a thread, and they're just gonna drop him right in, and he's gonna eee! And then you pull out some tasty lobster. The hot seat for Thomas Dimitrov and his inability to prove that free agents can save this team has been his downfall. On top of the fact that he cannot draft O linemen and D linemen worth a damn. Prove me wrong. Dan Quinn has made it work. It hasn't been pretty. It hasn't always been the evolution that we've wanted, but it has worked. My name's Lieutenant Dan. This was Unintentional Grounding live from Orlando, Florida. I hope you've enjoyed this show today. I hope you have. I want to thank Brianna and 50 Millie for their donations in the chat. You guys are awesome. Really keeping this thing afloat. I was hoping that this channel would be up to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, by Jan 1 of 2020. That seems to not be what's going to happen. I would like to ask every single person in this chat, if you know a Falcons fan, if you know a sports fan, if you know family and friends who want to hear some thought-provoking Falcons stuff, that want to see some interesting video gaming, that want to see some interesting talking points with other YouTubers that talk about other teams, please bring them here. Please share this out to your Falcons friends and family, whether that be on Reddit, the Falcons forums. Go out there to all of the boys and girls around and say, hey, go subscribe to Lieutenant Dan. We're at 4,100 subs currently, and I would really like to see a small bit of growth here before the year ends and we get into one of the biggest bulk portions of the year, which is the draft. We'll be covering the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft, the East-West Shrine Game, and be covering the Senior Bowl. Make sure you check me out at UNGR_show on Twitter and Instagram, and make sure you check out our Patreon if you would like to support us monthly, or you can subscribe to the Twitch channel, which I believe is $5 a month, and you can get all kinds of crazy emotes that I make myself personally, as well as blah. Okay. Just wait. It'll yeah. Just wow. Woo! I'm sweating. Oh. I just for effect. Just for effect. Woo! Okay. There's gonna be some cursing for a second. Hal Snipes. Fucking Cobra. This is why you always stay to the end. Hal Snipes with the $50 donation in the super chat. What? What is that? What? I don't. What? How? Cobra. What is this? What is this? What is this? $50 donation in the super chat. What is this? Are you just trying to flex? You just trying to flex? You just trying to be that guy? You just trying to flex, huh? Hal Snipes with a $50 donation in the super chat. Woo! Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. That is insanely generous. You just, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. Thank you. Thank you. It's Merry Christmas to all the grounders. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. We're about to come up to Christmas. Thank you so much for not only your donations and your support here on the YouTube, but just supporting this channel and my hopes and dreams of making this into something just so big. And you guys have done that. You guys are awesome. Just insane. Insane. It's insanity. It's insanity how much you guys support this channel and make it work. Make it work. Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas. Okay, how do I the plane landed. How do I bring it back up in the air and then land it again? I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I'm supposed to be a professional streamer. How am I supposed to do that? Huh? When that kind of stuff happens right there. When that kind of stuff happens right there. How am I supposed to do this? Huh? Terrence Holmes says, your thought on Vic. I'm going to go on live on twitch.tv after this. As long as I don't have to leave. It doesn't look like I have to leave. So I'm going to be going to twitch.tv/unintentional grounding. Do a little gaming over there for you guys. And I'll answer all of your questions over there. My thoughts on Vic Beasley, just very quick thoughts. I would bring him back. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be making, $10+ million a year. But even if he was, I don't see a problem with bringing him back. What he did today is more than enough effort for me to say bringing him back on, $6, $7, $8 million a year, cutting him a check for 20-something million dollars with about 12 million of it guaranteed, and only having 2 years that are guaranteed in 1 year where it's not like a 3-year deal. That's what I would do, Terrence. That's what I would do. Because that's smart business planning. That's going, if you give us a lot, or even give us double-digit sacks, or get close to double-digit sacks every year, I don't have a problem with you being here. Because you as a linebacker, as a spy, and as a defensive end that's rushing the passer, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with what you're doing, especially when you light up during the end of the season. I know during the beginning of the season it's a little bit difficult, but as the season has progressed, he's gotten better and better and better and better and better. And honestly, I'd love to continue to use him in that role. I would. So I would play smart, analytical thinking when it comes to a contract with Vic Beasley. 3-year contract, 2 years guaranteed. You can get out of it the second year. Grow another draft guy behind him, and if that guy takes over the snaps, then you can let Vic Beasley go, or keep him on the cheap, or he goes on the free agency and gets paid, millions of dollars with somebody else. My name's Lieutenant Dan. I'm going to go live on twitch.tv/unintentional grounding. Links in the description of this video. I'm going to go play some video games with you guys. Rise up. Stay grounded. We beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's all that matters. We'll get to the draft portion of everything as we go. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, wonderful day. My name's Lieutenant Dan. This was Unintentional Grounding Live. You're listening to nothing but the facts and the truth from your boy Lieutenant Dan here at Unintentional Grounding. Thank you for the absolute crazy generosity from Hal Snipes, Brianna, and 50 Milli. You guys are incredible. Absolutely incredible. In fact, actually, I'm just going to add Hal Snipes as a moderator. Just add him as moderator because, you know, hey, man, you support the channel. I want people that support my channel to be around here. So, rise up, stay grounded, take it easy. I'll see you guys again real soon. Merry Christmas, y'all.